What's going on, y'all? So, hey, Brandin Cooks is a Cowboy now, man. They tried to get him last year, it didn't work. You know, the Texans wanted something steeper, right? And we was able to get him, a few months later for cheaper. So I had to say that that'll be a win for the Cowboys, even though we paying him 12 mil. So it was a win that the Cowboys was able to shave that contract. I believe Mike Fisher reported it that they able to get it to 12 mil, right? But I'll be honest with you. The only way that this trade will end up being great is if we get Michael Gallup back to the being Michael Gallup of before. I love the Brandin Cooks because Brandin Cooks, his prototype, what he brings to the table is something Dallas Cowboys haven't had in quite some time. Not only is he a good wide receiver, but he's a wide receiver that can take the top off the defense and that can work all three levels of the defense and do it well, right? And, his run after the catch ability, gotta love that as well. And he also, even though he got like a 5'10", 5'11" frame, he does show glimpses of going ahead to try to high point the football, which is also good. But we understand that we ain't gonna get, good catch. We ain't gonna get the, probably some catches like we would get with CD or something. Players with more length, right? But having that trio of wide receivers clicking to ultimate capacity, man, that's a win for this team. That's a win for this team, right? I guess she was able to go ahead, man, and kind of, try to get some type of redemption for getting rid of Amari Cooper, even though Amari Cooper is a better wide receiver than Cooks. However, Cooks, man, he bringing another dynamic to this team that is much needed, right? So now getting Cooks allows this team to go ahead and get best player available, right? Even though this team still needs a deep tackle. Probably another tight end if it's there, and the running back, right? You don't have to try to reach for a player, Now you can kind of relax, let the board come to you, right? So getting this Brandin Cooks, we talked about it all season, y'all. Look, we know that we still probably need to draft a wide receiver, but getting a vet wide receiver in this wide receiving core was definitely a must, right? So we get experience and speed, right? So now we have 3 vet wide receivers. Now we got to bring some young ones up in here. I'm excited about the Brandin Cooks trade, right? I am, right? And hey, if we can get to how we supposed to play with Dak Prescott, which is be balanced, right? Lean more into running the ball and kind of getting back to that 2016. Because it's funny, man. Earlier, man, on NFL Network, that Dallas game and Pittsburgh game, man, when it came down to that Zeke rookie year, man, when Zeke had that game-winning touchdown, right? It's crazy. I'm like, man, this is how offensively the Cowboys need to get back to, right? And we also needed to be more explosive, right? Because in the passing game, this team definitely lacked explosiveness. If we wasn't getting excellent plays from CD Lamb or maybe the tight end positions, everything else was non-existent. So now the defense they got to play you honest. They can't go ahead, man, and crowd the box. Because if you want to go ahead, man, and crowd the box, man, with somebody who's a burner like Brandin Cooks, it's night-night. It's night-night, right? It is night-night. So this is going to allow for things to open up, right? And if we can go ahead and get Dak to continue to use his legs, man, this offense is going to be something special if we continue to build it up, man, because this offense is definitely not a finished product. Definitely not a finished product, right? We definitely still got to mix and match and add, and if we got to subtract. However, the direction that we going so far, man, I can give Dallas thumbs up, man. They actually went to go get him. I see people may be bummed about, oh, we ain't got DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham. Let me tell you something, man. The price to get DeAndre Hopkins wasn't worth it. I'll be honest with you, right? If it was DeAndre Hopkins maybe about 3 years ago, then I'll tell you that price would probably been worth it. Now, we know that Brandin Cooks is what? Maybe about 30 years old? Maybe 31 or something, right? So we know that this ain't going to be a 4-5 year type of thing, right? But in this 2-3 year window, we should be able to get the most out of Brandin Cooks because we know that Brandin Cooks was not happy over there in Houston, right? So now he stays in Texas with a better team, a team that should be competing for it all, right? Has the talent to compete for it all, right? So now he's going to bring another element that this team has been missing, man. You try to replace it. You thought you was going to get it maybe a little bit with Turpin. You thought you was going to get it with Lucky Whitehead, Tavon Austin. Just never worked out. You see, all of them was receiving. They may have had speed and explosiveness to them, but them as a wide receiver was definitely lacking. You know, their skills at wide receiver was definitely lacking. But now you got to not only somebody who can take the top off the defense, but his wide receiving skills is not lacking, right? It's definitely not lacking. Now I can say this one thing. Can Brandin Cooks stay healthy? That's my thing. Can he stay healthy? Because he's definitely had injury problems in years past. So not only if we can get him to be here and bring what he brings and be healthy in doing so, I love it. But you got to watch out. See, we're not asking you to be a number one wide receiver. We're asking you to be a complimentary wide receiver. And I'll always go ahead and give this type of example. You remember in Green Bay, Mike McCarthy didn't have no, top tier wide receiver in Green Bay, right? But he had very good wide receivers though, right? Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, James Jones. You have 4 quality wide receivers, man, that brought different elements to the game to make that offense so special, right? So now you have wide receivers, and I'm pretty sure that they're not done yet in making an addition to the wide receiver room. And it's safe to say that you have different elements in your passing game with the addition of Brandin Cooks. Now, it'll be nice to go ahead and bring maybe your James Jones type of wide receiver, somebody or a wide receiver that can go ahead and win quick, right? Because we're still missing that. And there is options of so in the draft, right? As we discussed on a live maybe about a few weeks ago. So I love it. Definitely what Mike McCarthy calling these plays, right? And if we can go ahead and get the most out of that, this thing gonna work, man. But y'all let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about the Brandin Cooks edition, man. But y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And if y'all can, go ahead and share my stuff, man. If you on Facebook or whatever the case may be, go ahead and hit that share button for me. Help me get up out there, man, and it'll be greatly appreciated. But all right, y'all, man, we up out of here.